Hi and welcome to More Than a Story, your D&D podcast for jokers and jackasses. I'm your DM Joe, joined by
Sam, playing Beyond Bowden.
Ben, playing Griffin Minotia.
And Lewis, playing Torsten Farringray.
This is our 10th session of Dungeons & Dragons. Double digits, let's go. Yeah, what a milestone, one milestone. Solid, great achievement, guys. Still, none of us are very funny, but we'll get there, I'm sure.
Doubt it.
Anyway, last session you ventured off with the Order of the Fallen Wing, travelling towards Tiermund. You witnessed the brutal dismemberment and capture of a black dragon along the coast of which coast actually was that? Algora, the scaled coast. And then you had just finished celebrating with the rest of the Order of the Fallen Wing when you ventured to get some fresh air down in the holding bay to see a shadowy figure in your drunken state chomping bits out of the fallen dragon's body, seemingly eating some of the flesh. You were just about to question them when they ran off, and you noticed that the blood had begun to congeal. And that's where we'll kick off. You see the pool of ichory black blood that has seeped from the inside of this black dragon is beginning to shift, swaying, and it was already moving and humming and vibrating with the movement of the ship, but as it congeals into a formed mass at your feet, it slops backwards and forwards. You see protrusions beginning to grow out of it, almost forming new layers of scales and tentacles that writhe across the floor as it continues to crawl towards you. The thick ichory blood gives one last out of the body of the dragon, and this
It's not a nice sound.
dragon blood ooze writhes in front of you, and we roll for initiative.
What? Joe, you promised us we could try and talk our way out of this one.
Hey, you can talk your way out of it in combat.
How long is it at the start? Oh, always, do you know what? Always wanting the attention. You know what? You just go. It's fine. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you know what?
You
know what? You're right, Sam. I will just go. Fine. Are we drunk? Teacher, do we have homework?
Yeah.
I'm going to say everybody roll a Constitution saving throw for me.
Do I?
Groford, you have advantage.
Okay.
Yikes. Yeah, I'm drunk.
Oh no.
Mine is 17.
I got an 18.
18? 17?
Yeah.
Torsten?
5.
5. Okay, Torsten, you are poisoned, so you have disadvantage on everything, right? Isn't it? Attack rolls, saving throws, and I think...
Oh, is it? I'll check. Is it? Yeah.
I think it is. I think it is most things.
I think it is most things. It depends on attack rolls and ability checks. Yeah, not saving throws.
Not saving throws, attack rolls and ability checks. That's
Okay.
better. Yeah. So you currently see all these tentacles begin to writhe in front of you, and like, yeah, it's way too many tentacles because you're already seeing double from the alcohol. Cool. So initiative order. Can everybody see the map?
Yes, can indeed.
Good. Have you located yourselves at the bottom of the map as well?
Yep. I am the robot. E10.
Cool. Sweet. So 25 to 20. 20 to 15.
Oh, no, wait. No, 21.
21.
My bad. 21. Just doing the math.
Did you have it the other way around and it was 12? So.
It's gonna have to roll like con save it.
20 to 15. Right?
19.
19. 4. And lastly but not leastly, Torsten.
That would be a 3.
3. Brutal. Very leastly, actually. That I should have corrected that. Torsten. Cool. And the ooze is got himself to 14. Solid. Cool. Ooze. He has so many hit points. Right, top of the round. I believe that makes it Guion.
Pew, pew.
Okay, Guion will. You allowed us to pick up our weapons, didn't you, Drew?
Yes, you have your weapons with you.
Did we have our armor on? I forgot what we said.
Yes, I said you were fully kitted out as
fully kitted
you
out,
weren't sure
as you would
what you were going to be going and dealing with when you went to view the dragon
Fantastic.
fight. So you kept all of your gear on you before you left.
In that case, Guion will unsheath his bow from the cloth wrap that it lies in, string it really quickly, very fluidly. He's very used to this.
Yeah.
Pulling it back, string to corner of the cheek, loaded with an arrow, and he's gonna go, guys, do we think this is normal? And he's gonna hold his action if the thing starts approaching them to shoot it.
Cool, no worries. Cool, so you're holding your action, which brings us to Groford's turn.
It sounded quite aggressive. Is it staying aggressive?
Yes, it definitely is. It's writhing. It seems to be pulling itself together in more ways than one. As it slowly siphons a little more of the blood. It's learning its feet as it's beginning to grow them.
Okay. I will. Can I try and understand what the hell this is to begin with? Actually.
Sure. Roll either a nature check or an arcana check for me.
Okay.
And you're not drunk, so you don't have disadvantage.
Which is good.
It is good.
I rolled a 4. No, sorry, I didn't roll a 4. I rolled an 8 plus 4, which is 12.
That's much better than a 4. Yeah, you don't know this particular category, but you know that this creature is most definitely an ooze, given the liquid form of its body. You know that they're incredibly versatile creatures, and their movement and their genus, dependent on what ooze you're dealing with, you might have a very difficult fight on your hands, depending on how powerful this particular one is.
Okay, but oozes are generally bad.
Oozes aren't generally aligned with anything; they just sort of are. Okay. In the same way, a storm doesn't care if it ruins a town, an ooze doesn't care if it ruins your face.
Or sandwich.
Okay.
Sandwich.
Is that a bonus action to do that?
I'll say that was your free action. We'll allow understanding things when you look at them.
I will say, Guion, I think it didn't really it matters if it's normal or not, but I think we should maybe deal with it either way. And I will pull some lightning from my core and fire a witch bolt at it. Level 2. As it arcs across the air towards it.
Nice.
Let's give this a go. Ooh, okay. That's 16 to hit.
16 will hit.
Yeah, let's go. Okay. And the lightning arcs across the air and forms a constant stream of lightning pumping into it.
Cool.
Stage 2, that's 2d12.
2d12, good.
I rolled a 2 and a 1 on my 2d12.
That is not so good.
I'm gonna use an empowered spell.
Big.
I'm gonna use 1 fortitude point to re-roll my damage die.
Solid.
And I gotta use the...
Love that crunchy
A
mechanic.
lot better. It's 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage.
10 points of damage. 10 points of damage.
Okay.
That's big.
And they apply, yes, the lightning is still stuck between...
The lightning is still stuck to it. You watch as the lightning crackles towards it, it hits the surface, and you see the lightning sink through its body, sort of dissipate through it. It writhes in a bit of pain, but that didn't cook it as much as you were expecting.
Okay, interesting. That's slightly annoying. I will back it up a little bit, and I'll go back there. In fact, I need to be in full sight of it, and I will call out as loud as I can. Need some help in here. We're running out of time.
You know you're a decent way away from the festival, and there's quite a lot of revelry going on, so you're not sure how effective that particular method of communication is, but yep, you've done that. So that brings us to the Ooze's turn. Ooze is going to shift forwards a couple of spaces, which triggers Sam, your attack.
My attack is sharpshooting, by the way. I wish I hadn't said that. That is
Too late now.
6.
6 does not hit. The arrow just like it just kind of hits one of the gaps that it's slowly forming and reclosing around. The arrow just gets consumed by its acidic body as it.
I like
as
the
it
idea
curls around
that
it.
Graham pulls down, is super focused, he's aimed, he's gonna hit, but then Groford shouts out, "Need some help here," and Graham's like, "What?" And the legs go. Arrow kind of goes off target.
Yeah, it needs help. You're fine.
Yeah.
Right. So the Ooze is going to shift a little forwards, and then he's going to make a. Ooh. That's not what I want.
He's stuck. We stuck. Yeah, let's go. He's stuck to the ground.
Let's
I'm gonna say
go.
that's a little closer to it. Where, what?
Oh
Excuse
no.
me?
Oh no. Oh
No, I don't think that hits us.
We're getting a triangle placed on us. That way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the triangle formed in front of us. Everybody.
Triangle's the wrong
Let me
size,
measure
Joe.
that.
Meant to be 1 square.
Just one square
Yeah, just
triangle.
1 square.
One square.
Bro's about to cast Cone of Cold
No,
on
it's
level 4
definitely
party.
needs to be a 30 foot cone.
Oh god.
So I'll make that a little
I don't
smaller.
think you
but
really
I
need
definitely
to
think
measure
you're
that
in-
much, Joe. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
it hits.
You're definitely in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, what if you just like run the numbers and the 2s and the 4s?
I didn't want any dispute about the fact that you all get hit by it, you know? Keep that there just in case we need that again. So you watch as this Ooze like congeals a little harder. You see the scales form that it's creating on its body open in the center, and there's like almost teeth-like protrusions that are being formed by this this blood-like ooze open, and this plume of black-red gas expands in all directions towards you. You all need to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
It's not
Okay.
my forte, especially at disadvantage.
That's a 17.
It's not saving throws; it's just attack rolls and ability checks.
I rolled
Oh,
a.
Being poisoned.
I rolled a 16.
11.
16, 11. Griff, did you save? What was yours, Graham?
16.
17.
17. So you two save. Torsten, you do not, unfortunately.
God. I'm having a real rough time
Yeah,
on this.
Torsten's
one.
getting
yeah.
getting
Yeah,
beat.
you
by
can-
this
yeah,
guy.
Considerably rough.
Hit left, right, center.
So the how much damage is that? That is. It's the wrong dice. What am I doing?
What's going
Use
on?
the D4s.
You take.
D2?
You
1
take
D2.
15 acid damage straight to the
Oof.
face, and half as much for the people who
That's a
saved.
lot, actually.
We round up
and
as well. Okay.
This thick fog that rolls over you congeals against all of the surfaces of your armor, your plates. You see it like stick in long, stringy tentacles against your armor
Yeah.
torso. And the rest of you dodge out of the way, but that viscous liquid grabs you, and it's like reeled back in as it pulls you towards the center of its mass. You are. No, it doesn't. You are not considered grappled by this, but that's okay.
Okay, good. I like that part. The
And
rest I
that
could do
brings us
without.
to your turn, Torsten.
Let's go,
Awesome.
Torsten.
I'm going. Oh my god, what?
It just spaffed in your face, dude.
As it yanks me towards it, I'm going to pull the hammer to the side and scrape it along the floor. And as I do so, the hammer will vibrate at the end until it's surrounded by a shimmering vibration, as it seems to be just like resonating at a high frequency. And I'll make an attack with Thunderous Smite
That's sick.
Solid.
Oh, that's very tasty.
with disadvantage.
Oh,
Damn.
Wait, I'm gonna negate that. I
Yeah.
time and space and stop your disadvantage.
Big.
Okay, that is a 14 to hit.
That will hit.
Wait.
Excellent. Okay, so it deals 13 bludgeoning damage.
Big.
It deals 9 thunder damage,
Okay.
and it creates a sound, very loud, that can be heard up to 300 feet away from us.
Nice.
Ooh, yeah, that's quite tasty.
So
As
there's a
you-
massive thunderclap as it hits. Yeah,
Nice.
sorry, go on.
Yeah, as you strike the surface of it against the hard, like a scale-like surface of this weirdly viscous ooze, it cracks and cracks as this shockwave of sound just ripples in all directions, and you see the body goes like non-Newtonian for a moment as all of that impact strikes through its surface, and you see the surface of it dig and then crack under the pressure of the impact. It reels backwards and goes.
Easy boy.
I'm
He's an
actually
oozy boy.
going to move it
Ooh,
5
Ooh.
feet away from me
big,
Ooh,
with that impact.
That's sick.
that is very cool.
solid. It splats back against the body of the dragon and slops off the surface of it, congealing again to continue writhing in the way that it really likes doing. That brings us back to the top of the round with Gwion.
Let us go, Gwion.
Can confirm this thing is not nice. I'm gonna shoot from back here, and Leon's gonna run back and go through this door.
Sure, you did come in through that way, so I will.
Oh, is he?
Fog. No, that's the way you came in from.
That's fine.
into
Then I'll
the
go that way
space,
anyway.
but
That's fine.
I'll just.
Oh wait,
Um,
wait, Sam,
delete
that's
that
me.
fog as you go.
Oh,
It is him.
sugar. It's fine. I can still go this way. That's fine. I'm in here.
Yeah, you're good.
He's going to take a shot at the thing, loading his bow. Are
Nice.
you serious? It's okay.
Are you
I
fucking
didn't technically say
serious?
sharpshooter.
Not this time, no.
11 to hit.
11 to hit. That will not hit.
Yeah. I think I might have had one too many, just from earlier. And then he's going to use the rest of his 5 foot to get behind this wall.
Big.
Okay, so you guys are running away.
I'm running and shooting.
I think I'll be staying.
I just looked back at the map and saw you guys disappearing. I was like, oh my god.
Rothed, I think you're a little further away. I'm just going to give you that extra space with the rearrangings of stuff.
Oh, yeah, sorry, my bad.
That's good.
I gotta say, this is a
Um,
cool ass map though.
It is.
Yeah, it's sick, isn't it?
Brought to
By
us
the-
today by our sponsor, Dungeon Alchemist. I wish.
Forged at
I'm
home.
joking. Yeah, me. I spent all the time on this. They didn't do anything. They just bought the product. Not a sponsor content. Please sponsor us. Anyway, yes, that brings us to Grover's turn.
Whoa, okay, I would like to. I want to climb on top of these boxes.
Sure.
Can I try and do that?
How much movement do you got? Yeah,
I
I think
got-
you could make it to the top of there with the additional 10 feet movement you've got
Like
after
on here.
that gun. Yeah.
Woo, and then I want to use my action to automatically do 2d12 damage.
That's
Big.
so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I will chug that into him.
Shit.
15 points of lightning damage.
Damn.
Damn.
That's a lot of damage.
As it arcs through the air.
That's a lot of damage. He's gonna need some flexor tape.
Flex tape.
Flex tape.
Cool. Again, it rises against the pain, but there isn't. The lightning crackles through the liquid surface of its body. To go.
Okay, and then.
Ah.
I think I need to
I
reconfigure
believe the term is
myself.
"let him cook."
Let him cook!
That's what the kids be
Um,
saying these days.
That's what dumb kids be saying there. Okay. I will stop there.
Cool. No worries. That brings us to the Ooze's turn, which is going to react to that additional attack, and it's going to try and come after you.
Wait. I'm right here. Don't you go anywhere.
It ain't goaded, but it
Don't
is
go
going to take that
anywhere.
opportunity attack from you.
Don't go anywhere.
Excellent. I will smack it with my hammer.
Cool. It's going to come up to there. Make your attack
Ooh,
roll.
yeah, that hits. That's a natural 19 for 26.
26 to hit. Perfect. That hits.
10
Okay.
points of bludgeoning damage.
10 points of bludgeoning damage. Solid. Oh, that's the wrong person. Don't want to be removing points from your initiative score. That would be Disappointing.
Terrible.
That would be a great monster ability though.
Yeah, it would be cool.
If you get to 0, you don't freeze. Or
You
something.
don't move.
Yeah, you just get to 0 initiative. Anyway, it's going to make a pseudopod attack against you, Groford. You are 10 feet up, but it has that sort of reach because
Get pseudopoded.
monster. Get pseudopoded. That is a
Pseudopod,
17
pseudopod.
to hit.
Silver Bobs.
Silvery Bob, so make him re-roll it.
Yeah.
Ooh, that brings it down to a 10 to hit,
Oh, this
which I
is
know
oh my
doesn't.
Damn.
God, actually doesn't hit. That's
It is in contact with those boxes, and they are beginning to melt, however.
Oh crap, that's cool,
Mhm.
but not cool. Kind of cool, but really sucks. Okay.
Yeah, it's slowly
just,
eating away. You can feel it getting a little more unstable underneath your feet.
Just for clarity on the rules and stuff, I just re-rolled my attack because I am at disadvantage at the moment. I got a non-natural 20 on the second attack.
Still
so
hits.
I think we're
Good.
still fine.
Still hurt.
Sweet. That brings us to your turn, Torsten.
Okay. Heedless of his drunken state, Torsten will run up behind the creature.
You fucking
Can
slime.
he
Also,
Do we have flank?
I'm gonna.
That's an odd
Would you-
one because he's at a height.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no.
I would have given.
And he's also
the silvery barbs advantage.
Okay, so you're giving you the
Right.
advantage anyway, which puts you at
I
a
would
flat
not-
roll.
flat roll goes to 17 to hit.
That hits.
Taste.
Awesome, and then
Big.
we'll roll a regular attack. So that is 11 points of bludgeoning damage, and we'll roll a divine smite into it as well,
Big.
which I believe is just 2d8.
You guys are cooking.
Ah, absolutely cooking.
Cooking in the kitchen.
So that is 9 points of radiant damage on top of it.
9
Nice.
points of radiant damage.
Big.
So what was the bludgeoning damage at the start?
11.
11. Whew, big. Big damage.
Hitting some hits over here.
Solid. Cool. That.
Oh, actually, I
That-
still have a bonus action.
You still have a boner. What?
I still have a bonus action.
Massive bonus.
And I'm going to, for that... Oh. No, actually, I'll leave it.
Cool.
Never mind.
No worries. That brings us to the top of the round again with Guion.
Guion
Actually, before you do that, you hear shouts and the beginning of footsteps up towards that door, further up the way from you. Probably people on their way to help.
I'll shout up there. It's down this way, guys. And then I'll roll round the side of the door that I was hiding behind and draw an arrow, release it. 21.
That will hit.
Whee! The
With
drunk
sharpshooter,
man-
with sharpshooter.
Oh, yeah.
That's
With sharpshooter,
calculated
yeah,
with
yeah.
sharpshooter. Just letting you know.
Solid.
And then that is
Finally got his eye in.
16 points of piercing.
16
That
points
is-
of pace damage. That's really good.
That's very tasty. The drunk man's come round. He's come on. He's finally.
Like-
The adrenaline's hit. The
And then-
adrenaline's hit.
Guion will sway back round the corner and go back into his cover.
This arrow punches a hole into it, and you see it like stick in its body, and then slowly consume the arrow that's left in it.
Does it make a splatter or seem to do some form of disabling damage?
It definitely does some damage. You see the bits of it glob off out of it, like the blood is bleeding, which yeah. We won't think too hard about that.
The blood coagulates.
Yeah. Yeah. You see it loses some platelets,
Yeah.
Platelets.
It drops a couple
Some of
of
it
hemoglobins.
falls off and turns into black pudding.
Yeah.
Oh. Go on. Odds on.
That brings it to Groford, your turn.
Okay. As my
Dragon blood
action,
black
I'm
pudding.
gonna pump 2d12 of lightning damage into him as another bolt
Big.
surges through. Oh my god! I rolled max damage, 24.
24.
Now that's a lot of
Like-
damage.
If he wasn't resistant to a lightning, that would have been really good.
Ridiculous. Yeah, but sadly.
He is not looking his best.
That would one-shot you, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would one. No, I've got 26 HP.
Okay,
Solid.
but close.
Limping. Yeah. And
You're
then,
also-
just in case, because I don't want to die, I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Misty Step.
Okay,
Nice.
cool. Big. Where are you going?
And just because of Rule of Cool, I feel the need to get on top of the dragon.
Yeah, that's
Of
fair.
course.
Can I get on it here, like on its like?
Yeah, you can
wings?
you can be on it. It's like it's more slumped than the position is showing on the map. But yeah, you can absolutely land on its back.
Land on its back, and I'm now riding on the back of the dragon. Just
Absolute vibes. You watch like as you jump off it, the boxes that it was slowly eating away at like crumble into it, and you know you probably would have gone with that if you hadn't moved.
Okay.
Which was
Nice.
pretty cool. It is going to. It says done, unless you're doing anything else.
No, that's everything. That's all.
No worries. It's going to see if its breath weapon recharges, which it does.
A breath weapon
dear.
for an ooze is just a bit
Yeah.
crazy. Isn't it?
It's kind of
Oh,
vibes, in my opinion.
This is why I am behind wall.
This is good. Your wall seems to be very protective.
It does.
Yeah.
It certainly does.
My wall is not so protective because there is
No.
no wall.
I think that hits.
I would like to
Think that
argue.
hits.
I would like to argue. Ben has cover from Dragon.
I'm going to say Dragon's wing is lying flat on the floor,
Bruh.
rather than being actually under it. I think Torsten has stood on top of it, because Dragon flop
enough.
when Dragon die.
True.
The
Dragon,
I,
you've not got
the
those
thing
rigor
is, me and the
mortis.
dragon were mates, so he's
What?
gonna protect me.
You've been fucking dragons.
Donkey.
Could you each both of you make a dexterity saving throw for me?
And I
How
tried. I'm
about
sorry.
no?
It's all good. I rolled a dirty 20.
Yo, what are these rolls?
Nice.
I don't know if I
I
rolled.
don't know what I
it
rolled.
go well.
What did I roll?
I've rolled one terrible.
Oh,
Re-roll it.
that would be a natural one.
Oh, Lewis.
Critical fail.
This is
Cool.
brutal.
I don't know what's going on.
I've just had my turn. I can use silver. No, because the super bar doesn't work.
No, because it's an area of effect spell.
Yeah.
That is 20 acid damage.
I'm still standing.
Cool. And you take half as much for 10.
You're probably healthier than I am, Lewis.
And as it gets
No,
to
I'm
do
not.
this as part of a multi-attack, it will also make a pseudopod attack against you.
I'm sorry. He'll do a what with a what?
He's got multi-attack, so he gets to make a pseudopod.
multi what?
A multi-attack. Yeah.
Multi-breath
like-
attack.
You know when you used to
sounds
get the
You must
multi-packs
be
of
getting
cereal?
confused with multi-snack
like
is what you're thinking of.
Hey, what the fuck?
But I think Joe's cheating to be
I am a
honest.
snacky DM, that is, it has to be said.
Snack. I like to snack.
Almonds. Okay.
If I can have another mouth on my back.
We all
That
know
is,
this guy.
That's a 16 to hit with its pseudopod attack.
That actually misses.
Wait.
That's all good.
Thank
It is going
God.
to take. It's going to move. It's 20 feet to that drain in the floor,
Ooh.
and it's going to start sinking into it. You get an attack of opportunity, Torsten, as it moves away from you.
Come on, Torsten, come on.
Okay.
Oh, wait, are you,
That's an 18 to hit.
Yo.
That will hit.
Okay, that deals 8 points of damage.
How do you want to do this?
Wait!
No way! Okay, very nice. So that last hit left me on 1 HP.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
It's ridiculous. So as the pseudopod comes towards me, I'm going to whack it to the side with my shield and trap it down, and sort of spin off and just slam the hammer into the center of the creature to try and break it into pieces.
Nice.
Yeah, as the pseudopod comes towards you, deflect it down with your shield into the ground. The blood splatters across your shield and the ground in front of you, and you swing heavy overhead and just bang, and it flattens onto the ground and stops moving, except for
I'm
the
imagining-
gentle rocking of the airship.
I'm imagining this centrifugal force, in the center of the creature. There's actually no blood anymore. It's just a spaced air, and then the ring goes.
Yeah,
Oh,
just around the base
Yeah.
of your hammer, there's just
Yeah.
this clear space, and then
Exactly.
this ring of blood.
Yeah.
You all look pretty rough, but the dead creature is not moving anymore.
I'm gonna shoot one more arrow at the blood.
You can, yeah.
I will climb off the dragon in fact, and move away from the dragon.
Make a dexterity saving throw. I'm joking.
I'd like to give myself some health back, please.
Yeah, you absolutely can.
I'm going to give myself
cure
10 HP.
an illness with that as well.
I can touch a creature, disease, or neutralize a poison. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give myself 5 HP and cure the poison.
So you are no longer drunk, and you also have an additional 5 HP. Big.
Okay.
Instantly sobered up. Best ability in all of Dungeons and Dragons, right there.
Yep, that's pretty good.
It's good that we figured it out after combat.
Yes.
It does feel like you could be a
I
massive...
didn't really have a spare action.
Yeah, true.
That's fair. That's fair. You
Yeah,
could
fair
be a
enough.
massive dick, and your friend who's just spent loads on getting drunk, you can just immediately make them sober up.
Literally.
That's brutal. That would be the
That would be
worst end to a drinking
terrible
session.
Yeah.
Groford, are you hurt?
Yes.
Yeah, come here. Come.
Oh.
I'll fix you.
Thank you.
And I'll pump 5 points into Groford as well.
Is it a sensual touch, though? That's really
Not
what
even
we need to
slightly.
know.
The amount of gunge that currently covers Torsten.
Yeah,
this is the most.
I can still be sensual.
I've got double breath weaponed, both of which I took the full brunt of.
You
and
did, yeah.
I just got a full face full of splattered dragon blood. I
Yeah,
am
that's pretty
mostly
hot.
matted red.
Yeah,
ever
you
seen
are
Blade?
covered. Yeah. You are
That
covered
scene in the
in
dance roof. That's what we're looking at here.
viscera and dragon blood and all sorts of coagulated bits of fleshy, meaty chunks. It actually reminds you a little bit of fighting the flesh amalgam, except that this is purely dragon.
Gross.
Joe,
At this point,
as a DM, sorry,
yeah, sorry.
I was just saying, Joe as a DM has an aversion to bad guys with faces,
Yeah.
if possible.
No, I
As
feel like the
many
flesh
flesh
amalgam
amalgams and uses as we go.
I
I
have
feel like
loads
the
of...
flesh amalgam had way too many faces. Like,
That's true, actually, yeah.
it had more faces than it needed. Way too many mouths.
Non-Newtonian bad guys.
Yes,
I
that's
like
the
that.
one.
That's a good one. Yeah, I like non-Newtonian bad guys. I'll take that.
By the way, thank you, Torsten. That is greatly appreciated. I feel a little bit stressed, sort of being away from home, and so thanks for the healing.
I mean,
rest of
sure.
the-
Does the blood not stress you out more? The fact that it just tried to kill us than the away from home? Is that really a priority?
I mean, the blood is pretty gross, but I'm more thinking about how to repair. I've always sort of had, like a safety net, if you know what I mean. But
Yeah, no, I think I can. I think this works. It seemed to work. You knitting back together a bit.
yeah, I feel better. Thank you.
Okay, well that's good. As long as we got something.
But yeah, the blood seems pretty bad. You seem to be a bit well, I just sort of gesture from head to toe.
I've had easier times.
A few members of the Order of the Fallen Wing round behind Quion now as you step through the door. Captain Abraham and a few other members of the crew that you somewhat recognise. Nara's there, as well as Luna Ashford, and a couple of others that you don't recognise. A bulky looking lizard folk and a sort of thin, unusually thin looking orc.
Can I see if any of them might have droplets of blood around their mouth from that creature that was eating the dragon?
Roll yourself a perception check.
Did anyone come from a different direction?
No, they all came down the hall from the main hall, which if you zoom out you can see is like the second room along. So just the other side of the storage room at the back, this holding space at the bottom. Then you have the kitchen, and then you have the grand dining room above that.
16.
They all came from out of there. 16. No one is like drooling blood. They all look a little shook. They all have weapons in hand, except for the orcish fella who seems to be in like longer robes. Groford, you have seen him in passing in the library. You know, he was tending the books and shelves in there. The lizard folk that you don't recognize is holding what looks like a massive, like wicked-looking bone meat cleaver and one at his side, and he strolls in and he's like, "What's happening in here? We heard a noise."
Yeah, well, long story, but basically we've dealt with it. But Torsten, do you want to
Yeah.
fill
What?
these guys on what just happened? I mean, you were quite close to it. I was in from a distance.
I'll slop over. Like
Guion.
every step squelches as I walk.
Guion, whilst he's doing that, can you scout the corner? And I'm going to point to the corner where the person ran away.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You can see there's another door on the other side of the hall from you and the long side of it.
There's 100% double door kicking it open if you can.
It kicks open, but on the other side, you just see that there is the similar hallway to the other side, leading up towards the banquet hall.
Any signs of dropped blood? Trail?
Roll me an investigation check.
Okay. 16. No, 17.
17. There's a couple of from the space between the dragon's body here and the door, there are a few droplets of blood, but after that space, they probably wiped off what blood was left on them, or had already landed on the floor, because there isn't any on the other side of this. You're also not sure whether you saw them go through this or not, the door.
We just sort of dashed off.
They dashed off. It's fairly dimly lit in that space. I've put a load of torches in here so we can actually see, but there's probably only a few lit lanterns in the space.
Well, Guion will gesture people over once he's found that out, because I imagine it'll take a bit of time to investigate.
The lizard folk walks in. So does Captain Abraham. He walks in and goes, "What happened in here? Torsten, you are covered in blood, dragon blood, of all things."
This has been a weird, strange evening.
Torsten, are you intoxicated still, or do you want me to take over?
No, I'm okay now, thank you. Can I just check? I want to get a vibe for the crew and see whether they would... Do I feel like I should announce the idea of a traitor in here, or keep it more to the captain alone?
Roll an insight check.
Would it cause a panic? Would it be the wrong move?
Maybe.
Tell everybody?
Okay. Yeah, roll yourself an insight check to see what the... Vibe check it.
Vibe check!
Vibe check comes back lacking. That's a 6.
Vibes are lacking.
Oh, Lewis, change dice, man.
Dice
real bad.
You're rolling online, aren't you?
Full on
This
dice.
is what happens.
Yes, this is the trouble of digital dice. I actually changed up which set I was using. I've got amethyst.
Still the same algorithm.
yeah.
Anyway. The Captain Abraham walks over to you. From your vibe check, you can understand that this information would be very useful to him. Whether announcing it in a room full of crew is slowly filling up with people of various levels of intoxicatedness, wander into the space to see what all of the noise was about, because you essentially let off a thunderclap in here. Captain Abraham walks up to you and he raises his hand and he casts prestidigitation and he just siphons all of the blood. You see the ichor siphon out of it. Some of it gets you feel it peel from places you really didn't want blood to be up and in the back of your ears, and some of it comes out of the corner of your mouth, and you're stringy and gross, and it just onto the floor in one globule.
Thank you.
You're fine again.
Sorry, just to be clear, why did we come back here? I can't remember.
To get air.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You got let me clarify that one for you. You got DM'd bullshitted into needing air in the middle of a party to find yourself where I wanted you to be.
Understandable, yes. I'll step towards him. Captain, we were just stepping out to talk away from the noise of the party. We came back here and this thing it attacked us. It seemed to form from the blood of the dragon on the ground. There was some strange circumstances around it, but I think it might be best if we talk about them in private.
Interesting. Well, it looks like some creature formed of its blood. He looks to the orcish man who's wandered over towards the body of the dragon and isn't expecting the wounds and the blood splatters on the floor. Because it looks freshly attacked, like it was earlier today, but no, these are new wounds.
Okay, well, I mean, if we're going to announce that, then I guess there was.
We should speak somewhere else. He nods to you, figuring things out, and he nods to Captain Abraham, who turns to the remainder of the crowd that is gathered. Nothing to see here, ladies and gentlemen. Take a fucking hike, yeah?
You know me, can't go 5 minutes without a good fight.
We were just testing.
Everybody goes, we love a fucking fight. Some of them begin to stagger their way back off. The large lizard folk and the orcish man continue to circle around the body. Luna Ashford also makes her way off as well. But the three of you and those three members of the Order of the Fallen Wing are still in the space as everybody else leaves.
Okay.
So, what happened? Actually happened.
Well, it's mostly what I said, but when we came back here, we found something or someone feasting on the dragon.
The lizard folk goes over to the body to inspect it. You see that big bone cleaver that he runs along the edge of the scales and the teeth marks along it. It's like, yep, looks like someone took a few bites out of it. Fucking
And
idiots.
wherever they went, I'm pretty sure they went this way. Because blood there, and it forms a trail. I spotted it myself.
Yeah, but from there they could get anywhere in the ship in the time it took you to deal with that monster. You know, you can as you look up the hallway, you can see that you can go to the upper decks with all of the crew area, as well as across towards the command deck and the weapons rooms further up.
Is this known? People eating dragon flesh?
The orcish fellow steps forward. It is not advised. Dragon blood and bone is highly potent stuff, used in many a magical concoction, but that is after many years of fermenting and, purifying.
Do we know if whoever it was will try it again? Is it like once they've got a taste, they can't stop? Once you pop, you can't stop, sort of thing? Or
Pop to the top.
Looks backwards and forwards for a moment, and I am not sure.
Okay. Perhaps guards then for the corpse, if it can't be
potentially
disposed of immediately.
Yes, I shall have it arranged. He turns to the lizard folk. Cerelia, you should butcher it soon, just to be certain. He goes, absolutely, and runs the blade along the tail length of it again and goes, looking forward to it.
I do.
The blade across the shoulder.
Captain, I propose a strategy. It doesn't sound a good thing that this dragon is being eaten. It feels like we want to catch whoever it was, I'm guessing.
Yes. Whoever this is dangerous. Dragon blood should just not be consumed in its raw form. And meat and bone, even. This
is most certainly a guess, in that they would come back for more, or feel the need to. But I have a way of concealing people in a room for a decent amount of time. We could do that and have people outside, and then when we see who it is, call. get out and call and catch the person who it was? Sort of use the dragon as bait and put out the hook and see what bites.
I think maybe, but I'm worried about this creature that emerged from it. I think disposing of the dragon's body might be a good course of action to be done as soon as possible, the morning at the latest.
Whatever you think's best.
I am your companion. Sorry, I don't know your name, lizard folk.
I'm Cyrilia Deuce.
Cyrilia. The appearance of Cyrilia here has put me in mind that not all of your crew are of the same physiology. Can we tell? For instance, a bite from your jaws would be formidable. A bite from my own, perhaps not so much. We might be able to see the difference on the marks on the flesh.
Potentially, but if it's a humanoid, then bite
Yes,
marks.
well,
won't be
it
able
can
to
only
tell us too
narrow it
much.
down so far.
I can carve out the sections that have been bitten.
Can I go and have a look at it and see if I can tell?
Yeah, roll
Yeah.
a nature check or an investigation check.
Can I join?
Yeah.
Get a discerning eye in there.
That is a 9 on investigation.
Nine.
I rolled.
Nine.
I rolled a 12 on investigation.
Elon Musk's favorite number.
12? Oh
No.
Oh no.
Nine. Anyway, the investigation. So, Grayford, you got the best. There were 12, didn't you? You can see that these teeth marks are they're not big and broad. So rules out some of the larger subclasses of racial jaw structure. There's bits that are torn off, if that tells you anything. So it's definitely a grab and tear sort of affair.
But it could just be maybe like an animalistic human.
Potentially animalistic, but you don't know how well human teeth go through dragon. It's not a common practice. Definitely a humanoid beast was the one to do it, but that pretty much means most people on the ship. There are no discerning fang marks. This probably wasn't done by any creature larger than medium. That's very helpful because you do have some giant kin on the
True.
Well,
on the
on
ship.
the ship.
Yeah.
in
The
the
ship.
crew.
Yeah. Well, I can say don't think it was you, Cyrilia. And
Me.
Pretty clear on that one.
pretty clear on that one. I
That's
think
good.
you're pretty clear. As well as no giant folk or anyone of considerable size. I think it is a humanoid, but that is 98% of the ship.
You'd have to ask Broford, what did you do with the dog before you went out drinking?
I assume I'd actually have the dog on me.
Whodunnit, having just realised this, is going to jump up and run to Groford and be like, "Oh my god! Oh my god!"
Can I go in protecting the dog? Can it be in my pouch on the front?
Yeah, I'll say the dog's all right because I'm not a sociopath.
That's gonna be
The
like,
dog.
The dog
Rosie.
is-
"Oh, little Lucy."
Still covered in blood, but it got the non-acidic worst of it.
I will use prestidigitation to clean the dog.
Sorry, can we just clarify that you had prestidigitation and
Yeah.
didn't clean
Yeah.
off towards
What the
him?
fuck? Am I not worth it?
No, shut the
Wow.
fuck up. I forgot I had it, and then he used it, and I was like, oh, you probably said
You can have a broom and not sweep the floor, okay? It's okay.
As proven by Groford.
Who neither prestidigitations people or sweeps up after himself. What a messy
Uh.
situation.
Yes, I would clean off the coach. He's a good boy. He'd be fine.
We should find some rest. I'll find some guards to guard this room. There's only the one way in and out, so we'll put them on the doors. Anyway, we should all get some rest.
It sounds
Thank
like
you again for your help.
Very welcome. Glad we could do something.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Sorry
getting
we
us
couldn't be
away
here
from...
earlier.
Yeah, thanks for getting us away from the spear guy. So, I think we're kind of even now.
Well, we'll see. Maybe we can repay this in some way. He looks towards the lizard folk man. So, do you reckon you can make something? The lizard folk nods and goes, I'm sure I can manufacture something. And he starts like measuring up. You see him like pull like bits of string out of his pocket and starts like measuring knot by knot along the body of the dragon. I'll see what I can do.
Just FYI, guys. When we were, quite frankly, rolling whatever this was, the ooze, or
you look back at Griffith, he's like still deadpan, acid-eaten face, like
round, about to die. No,
We absolutely
they
smashed
tried
this.
to escape through these vents. I don't know where they go, but obviously we caught the one that we caught, but that does not mean there was no more before us. So I'm just conscious that there could be
sound point.
some throughout the ship potentially. We could go looking.
The lizard fake's going to take a longer look at the blood patterns. You see him like move around across the space, sort of trying to work out what the volume of blood to dragon is. As he works from his measurements, you see him take out a big leather notebook and start jotting things down in it. He goes, I don't think we'll have much of a problem with that, as long as the stuff that's, and I'll clean this up now, as long as this stuff doesn't come back to life, that dragon's got no more blood left in it.
Okay.
That's good to me.
I think
As
we're
well,
safe from whatever poison that is.
When the ooze was moving, was it leaving a trail of blood behind it?
Yeah, it was slowly losing. It was slowly losing blood. I don't know how to say that.
It's like a slug, it's like a slug trail. The slug's not leaving slug, but it's leaving slug
Leaving a
matter
residue.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was dropping hemoglobins all over the place. That's
Hemoglobins
what it was.
everywhere.
Yeah,
Hemoglobins.
Hemoglobins, because that is fantasy. Yeah.
Yeah.
No mind goblins.
No, none of them.
What about
What's gonna-
sexy goblin? Maybe magic. Sorry, I gotta take the spotlight here.
Guion is going to lean up
Yes.
against the dragon, and he's going to lean up against the dragon right next to the lizard folk because he's kind of making the measurements, and they're kind of like, so about this stuff that you might be making for us, if you catch my drift. What kind of stuff are we talking about?
Well, I'll have to see what's left of the internal bone structure to see what I can make out of its body, but I am the resident bone mason for the Order of the Fallen Wing.
Something I'd be like putting in my orders of like what I kind of like. I have a
I'll,
whole aesthetic going on.
I'll see what I can do. That's what you get.
Well,
That's pretty good, to be fair.
Not bad.
Don't fuck with the grass. Anyway.
thank you very much.
Oh, I need it in 2 weeks, and I want to be able to revise it the day before.
That'll cost you your firstborn child.
It's possible,
Anyway.
but the price is high.
Mm-hmm. Yes, unless there's anything else you need to do, you can do whatever you like now. The lizard folk seems to be sticking around to measure up the corpse. The orcish fella is wandering away, head in his notebook.
Can I try find a moment joke?
Mm.
Now, if I was gonna metagame, I'd be like, I'll do this before, but I actually didn't think about it till now, so I will not. Let's say, can I try to find a moment where no one's looking at me, and I want to try and pick up a bit of the blood, like scoop it up in something, some sort of vial or some sort of container on me. Don't know what I'll have. But
Okay, I'd say you definitely have a glass vial on you for something. Something magical, spell components, that sort of thing.
I wanna try
You can roll yourself if you want to do it without anybody seeing.
Yeah.
You can make a sleight of hand check.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Well, this is kind of evil.
Oh shit! I rolled a 6.
You scoop it up. It's noted by a few people. You're not sure who. That you did that surreptitiously. but no one moves to stop you in studying the for yourself.
Okay. Cool.
You see as you stand up straight again, you see the lizard folk take his big like bone cleaver from the side, and he starts like cutting out the eaten sections of the dragon on its flank and by its chest. You can see that someone had like there's gaps in its torso. Now that you're getting a closer look, you can see that the scales have been peeled back. And the flesh underneath and the layer of blubber has been cut through, and then muscle and even a few chips of bone are taken off the collarbone around where Luna Ashford took her sample.
Okay. I have written down vial of black dragon blood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You should make sure that's got former ooze written with it.
Former ooze, okay.
Because the chemical properties of formerly ooze dragon and blood might be very different as far as potion making goes, or whatever.
Well, it's like
if you try and sell it as dragon
you can't
blood, it might
uncook
not
an
work.
egg.
You actually can
yeah.
uncook an egg.
Oh, you
but
can. That is true.
Yeah, it's very
you?
difficult. Yeah,
You can, like scientifically, not like in a pan.
you use urea, I believe, don't you?
Do you?
Yeah, you have to
Therefore, you can uncook
incubate
the
it.
ooze.
Yeah.
So you don't
You
Imagine,
can't
like-
unooze a dragon, okay? But you can technically uncook an egg.
Like,
It's
you
just,
just, like,
really
put-
difficult.
you just put the egg in the freezer and it uncooks, like in the fridge or something.
Yeah, just whack it back in the freezer and it'll be a regular egg.
You're right.
It just regrows its shell in a moment. as well.
Yeah. Put it on a chicken and then it'll just become an egg.
Absolutely. That's how you know which came first.
True. There you go.
Wait,
This is what
Um,
science does.
what would you like to do now? Open world game, sandbox.
Do we have a dance party?
Fuck yeah! On the corpse of the
Big
dragon.
episode.
Beach episode.
Beach
In a
episode,
sky
please.
ship. Yeah.
Get the captain to divert, and we'll go have a watermelon eating contest on the beach.
Is everyone still like in the banquet room and stuff like that?
Yeah, people are still milling around. It looks like it's going to be a late one. So
Ben, are you going to try and see if you can romance any of these people?
you're going to Baldur's Gate 3 this.
Not
Dialogue
yet.
options?
Not yet, but could I approach? I mean, I could go specific, but basically what I want to do is I want to mingle with the people and be like, "Oh yeah, that was a crazy takedown, guys. Well done. That dragon was pretty scary, quite terrifying, and you all managed it so well. Like, my gosh, you must be so strong." And like to see you all at work as well, like it was quite amazing. Was anywhere like he was quite good, wasn't he, over there? In fact, is there anyone here? Is anyone that hasn't turned up for the banquet that you know of? And I want to out for information of any members of the Fallen Wing who either didn't turn up to the banquet or turned up late.
Solid.
Roll. Ooh, that's a really difficult one.
It's a hard one, isn't it? It's like a
Like
charisma
persuasion-y sort of thing to try and read out the information. Plus, maybe roll me a persuasion and an insight check.
persuasion and an insight check. Okay.
Testing my DM.
Persuasion. Persuasion, I rolled a 15.
Okay.
And an insight, I rolled. Ooh!
Oh,
I mean, I rolled well, but it's an 18 overall because my insight's terrible.
Okay. Yeah. So if one of the gruffer-looking gnome fella is like, well, you see a few people turned up late, but I don't know who's there's the librarian. He was a little late. The commander, he was a little late, but I'm sure he was just tidying up. Noara, she was a little late as well.
No.
Of course, Ellis. He wasn't in the party to begin with because he was recovering from his injuries.
Oh yeah.
Who else? A few people wandered off, to take a leak, but apart from that, everybody's been having a grand old time. Ooh, the The bone mason. He went away for a little while. I don't know. Well, if you're looking to catch up on people's drinks, that'd be, make sure everybody's had the right amount. That'd be who I'd serve to.
Oh, of course I will. In fact, I will go retrieve them now. Are they here now? Are they currently here?
Yeah, you see all of the people that you mentioned are currently milling around in the main hall space. Captain Vanderberg at the head table, as well as Ellis Sharp to his right, and Luna, who is milling around with some of the other members. You see the librarian orc fella. He is a little ways away by the side of the room, reading his book with a glass of wine. The lizard folk man is deep into the middle of the revelry, however, with his after seeing into some of the dragon dismemberment, he is now enjoying a drink.
Okay. Just observing these people, do they seem to be? Do I sense any offness from them? Is basically what I'm going to do.
You want a vibe check? Run me another insight check.
Hit me a vibe check, boys.
I rolled a dirty 1.
Roll for vibe. Ooh, your vibes are
Disgusting.
entirely lacking today. Apparently.
I have no idea.
What the?
I think it's time for bed. Actually, I think might be the direction I'm going.
No one seems to be acting out of the ordinary. No one is frothing at the mouth with dragon blood or anything out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
I would give it away a little bit. Wouldn't
Growth needs some WD-40.
it?
Everyone seems to be having a good time, generally enjoying the atmosphere, despite the slightly tense change of nature of the battle that just took place.
Okay, well I'm gonna kick the sack, everybody, but have a good night. Enjoy the rest of it.
Everybody goes, "Way, good night, Greyford." Whee!
And I will take my leave and go to bed.
Cool. You wander your way off to the cabin. What are the other two of you doing?
Well, if it really depends on what Torsten's doing, because if Growford had gone to the dining room, Guion wouldn't have let him go alone post what just happened. But Guion would also happily go back to the room alone. So would Torsten be following Growford? Not.
Probably not. No.
Okay, then Guion would be accompanying Growford. Probably not looking himself. He's pretty clocked out, but.
Guion, should we hit the sack? Go to sleep time, right? I feel like we've had a bit of an evening.
Yeah, that sounds brilliant. Just keep our eyes peeled, eh?
Yes.
I'm sure they got this covered.
Yeah, they seem very, skilled, I guess.
That wasn't such an odd saying between the pair of you.
Yeah. Together we have no eyes.
No functional eyes.
No actual eyes do we have.
Yeah.
As a team, we have no eyes.
Becca just
Excuse me.
realized I
I
placed the
have. I
pillars
definitely have.
in the wrong place on the map.
No, what?
Well, at the left.
Well,
pillar in the-
I noticed,
Yeah.
but I didn't.
Oh
want to say.
yeah.
That's really disappointing. Anyway, I can't move that.
That's all good.
Oh yeah, no, I actually didn't notice that at all. I thought
Right.
you were meaning you'd placed it wrong as opposed to the imaginary image you had in your head.
No,
Right, okay.
I've learned to not compare to the image I had in my head. It's never worked for me in the past.
Understandable.
Right. Yeah, you make your way off to bed.
Or
Tucking
do.
in for an evening's rest. You sleep up if that's what you want to do, or
That's what
read,
we
or
also-
do whatever you like.
Guion,
in your
mate,
downtime.
are we all in the same room? Or is
You are all in the same room. Yeah, you're in your own
Well,
bunk
Guion,
room.
having known that Torsten and Growford have both seen his face now, and Torsten has acknowledged him being confident, Guion will take off his armor and stuff and chill with bald, scarred Cyclops head fully covered, and an eye that wanders but never really looks at you and is very opaque. And with Evie perched on his shoulder, Guion may just
As
pull
a
up
frog.
a chair. Yeah, as a frog.
Robert.
Guion may just pull up a chair and just wedge it against the door, so it's kind of just a little bit of extra reinforcement,
Ooh, actually, Guion, whilst you're doing that, I will ritual cast alarm across the door.
Oh,
Across the door?
That sounds pretty good.
Where
What
does-
does that do?
Oh, well, as I start, I sort of in the air, I just do this, and sort of a golden thread starts to follow where my fingers are as I run my fingers together over through the air. If anyone walks through this path, it will wake me up and let me know.
What happens if they're small?
Then we're dead.
Right, well, that's
Then
why I got
that's-
this chair.
That's the breaks of it.
Them's the breaks.
But if you're short, we're dead. End of campaign. Murdered
Pixie
by
assassins.
murdered by a hob. Oh no, hobgoblins are taller than this one.
Hobgoblins are pretty big.
Yeah. Murdered by a red cap in your own bed.
Yep.
Brutal.
Right, lads.
What sort of area does the spell cover? Is it a cube?
Let's have
It's a
look.
cube
How
20
many-
feet
A
square.
20-foot cube.
20-foot cube. So I'll do that over the doors and over the much I can do, I guess.
No worries, cool. That covers all the room. That's all good.
Okay, I'll cover
yep.
the room.
You settle in to go to sleep, listening to the air rush through the vents in the space, and drift off to sleep.
And gentle.
Honk shoe.
The occasional croak from Evie.
Honk shoe, honk shoe.
Is that what Dawson smells like? the daintiest of
All I'm gonna
snores.
say is you hear those noises in the room. I'm not gonna say who they're from, but they are there.
We wouldn't point fingers, but
And every now and then. But I don't even have a horse.
don't know if I can have it. Yes, you awake in the morning. The conditions outside are cloudy. As you look out through the window, your alarm wasn't triggered in the night. But yeah, you find yourselves rested and rejuvenated after your battle with a bloody ooze. Yeah.
That bloody ooze.
That bloody ooze.
Use.
Do we know how many
Bloody
days left
oozeless.
till we land, or at least we go to?
You think you'd have from where you just left? You grab the visual aid for you.
Visual aid.
So you
That is the colloquial term.
you just left
Visual
just
aid
left
or
Algora?
map.
around here.
Oh, yeah,
this
yeah.
is the top of the scaled coast right here, and then this here is Tiamund. So you travelled about this far already. You were about here. You came to about here. So you've got probably the same amount of travel, if not a little more,
Another couple of days.
to get to. So you probably got 2 to 3 days of travel before you make it to Tiamund.
In the morning, as we wake up, I will say, Guion, Torsten, were you we last night, Guion? Were you hearing what they were saying in the food canteen?
No, I was asleep, but I was hearing this whoa, very high pitch last night. Couldn't sleep very well.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah.
That's odd.
Crazy.
Oh, it's interesting. Don't know
You
if
need
like
to really sort this out, Griffith. I mean, of the three of us,
Maybe
you're
it's
the only
Evie.
really one who could have made such a high pitch.
have I got some like wind,
does,
I don't
yeah.
know, like blowing through?
Probably.
Where?
I mean, maybe
Like
just
bagpipes.
Yeah,
But I
we just
don't.
need
But
to.
I don't think I breathe.
Have you heard of WD-40? Right, it's this wonderful little.
Is that a warlock?
Yeah, it's a warlock that casts a spell, cleans out the pipes, works wonders.
Is he aged 40 or something? Is like
Yes.
No one
That's
knows
what
why
I
he's
mean,
called, no one
Torsten,
knows why
you
he's
had it all
called
the
that.
time in the army, all the time.
But last night, when asking some questions, apparently people who came to the feast either late or didn't come was the librarian, the commander, Luna Ellis, Cyrilia, the lizard folk, as well as some people want to take a leak. But that's that doesn't actually help.
Some of those people were there at the beginning. Some of those people wandered in and out. Some of those people went for a leak during the ceremony. Hard to pick out from that particular bit of information.
But if we were going to do an investigation, I would think it'd be one of these guys. But I don't know if that's even in our interest. Do we care?
I mean,
Oh, go on.
perhaps we look out for them. I don't know. person could be dangerous. It's hard to say.
If we saw them, they probably saw us.
Frankly, I've only just woke up. I want to know this information, but I'd like to know over breakfast. Or maybe after our final sparring match, Torsten.
Again, really?
I'm feeling pretty confident about this one. Oh,
Okay.
oh.
If you're feeling confident, then who am I to deny you?
Especially after you couldn't take your liquor last night.
Oh, well, look at that. If that's what we're going to start with, then I think you are well deserving of whatever punishment I have for you today.
Can I have a morning wrestle with Torsten before breakfast?
Absolutely. Yeah, you make your way to the training room on the second floor, and yeah, begin sparring, doing your classic morning workouts. Would you like to make your strength
athletics checks? Right? Are we best of 3,
Athletics.
Torsten, or are we best of
I can do best of 3.
best
sure.
of 3?
Yeah, go for
Okay. Ooh, I'm nervous. 16.
21.
Oh shit! It's
Damn.
same thing as normal though. Get in straight in the hall, dump the armor, just instant spear tackle. There's no warning. There's no nothing. He's running at you.
He sweeps your leg and you crumble into a mat.
I can imagine so. Quick turnaround, as that's happened quite often. Second
Okay.
round, 23, baby.
Second round, 11.
Yo,
Nice.
quick
You
flip.
get the advantage of him.
Grab onto your leg.
Okay,
The last.
Yeah.
This is the final one. Yo.
Ready?
Yeah.
You've got several more days of travel. This could
18.
continue.
23.
Yo.
Oh!
As you go to reverse the hold, swing around from his leg to go into the suplex, he reverses it on you, brings into the hip and then over the shoulder.
Lewis, when you
yes.
were fighting the Ooze, you rolled nothing but 1.
This is correct. I only save my good rolls for important things, like beating the shit out of Sam.
These are all good points well made. This is
Just
I
stat
got
them up.
priorities, you know.
The dice
We
go
go
on up.
And will be very pissed on the inside, but do his best to try and maintain sportsmanlike behaviour. well, yeah, well done. Very good. Yeah, good job.
Yeah, good show. You nearly had me for a little bit.
Yeah. Well, you know, I haven't eaten this morning, and I'm kind of a foodie.
I could tell.
Food. Yeah,
No, I could tell you were a little off today.
Hey, but well done. You know, well done. Let's go for breakfast.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you continue your workout. You see and then head towards breakfast. You see that Luna was chilling around in the sparring room. Sorry, I'm blanking on my words at the moment. In the sparring room while you guys were doing your exercise, and then you make your way towards the dining room for breakfast. There's a few people milling around. Some people have already had their breakfast and moved on to whatever chores and stuff they have to do. That's right.
We good?
Yeah, sorry, the
Yeah.
thing signaled.
Oh, Ben, can I just have your list of people?
Oh, yes, it was Librarian,
Yeah.
Commander.
What was their name? Do we know?
Professor Plum.
Librarian, I didn't get the names. Librarian, is he the orc?
He is the orcish fella, yeah.
Okay, Librarian, orcish fella. We can find out maybe just asking today.
Abraham.
The Commander, yeah, Abraham. Luna, who is she? I forgot.
She's Luna Ashford. She's the spear wielding Shadowkey, who's the.
She's the one who got the dragon totem who killed the dragon this time.
Yeah, was
Yeah.
really, really big and chunky, and a badass. Ellis.
She has
who
a
is-
lot of.
Ellis Brigham.
He's a
She has
guy.
a
Sharp.
lot of victories, right?
Oh, sharp.
Oh yeah, she did. Was he was the guy with the shield that saved us? Almost.
Yes, Ellis
Yeah.
Sharp
Yeah.
is the guy with the shield who took the injury. He's injured and wasn't taking part in the dragon hunting.
Cerelia Dula, the lizard folk, but like I feel like it's not him. So we looked at the teeth thing, it's not him. And a few others sort of like went to take a leap potentially. So it's not like guaranteed that it's one of them, but that was the list that I gathered.
Cool, thank you.
I'd like to spar with Luna.
Ooh.
She's doing a lot of dexterity-based exercises. You see, there's a, I don't know what you call that in the gym, like a jungle gym, but for adults, you know. doing a
Ninja
lot
warrior.
of very very Ninja Warrior bars, horizontal movements, as well as practicing her dexterity as you approach. She deftly flips and lands onto the floor in front of you as you approach.
I think there's jungle gyms for adults as a specific use case.
Hmm.
You know what I meant.
Didn't know
There's no
there was that
swings
sort of shit.
involved.
Not sure about this one, Chief. But lots of rope.
Hey,
You fancy yourself tough enough to take on the slayer of the beast's blood that you slayed?
I'm still a little worn out from
Then maybe
defeating the
I'll
dragon.
stand a chance.
I think I'll give this one a pass.
Am I getting a weird vibe?
Roll a vibe check.
Vibe check.
Vibe check.
Is this canon now?
vibe
Is
check,
inside
vibe
check
check.
gone?
Vibe
Inside
check
check
is
is
vibe
gone.
check.
Vibe
It's
check.
always been the case.
That is a 16.
I
I've got my
think
rolls
potentially
back, boys.
she might not be a morning person.
Okay.
She seems a little worn out. You know, they're even using all of the machinery and the rapid bits of equipment that they use to take down these dragons. It's still a very labor intensive job, and defeating such a monster takes quite a lot out of the people involved.
It's really difficult to drink all that dragon blood.
It is, yeah. Chug, chug, chug. You also realise that she was one of the first people to leave the room with that insight check. She was one of the first people to leave the room after coming to see what the commotion was.
Okay. Does she have a comically large belly?
No, she doesn't have a comically
Being
large belly.
Too full after eating lots of dragon blood.
She's wearing like basic workout attire, you know, fitted gear. You can see that she's incredibly well toned as far as musculature. The spear that she wields looks about as heavy as the weights you were lifting this morning, easily, and she moves it around incredibly deftly.
Okay.
Not a woman to be messed with, but she doesn't seem in the mood for sparring.
Okay. Perhaps some other time then.
Yes, another time.
It was an impressive kill you took, I have to say. I was watching from the bridge. The teamwork and coordination, you work well as a unit.
It takes a lot of precision, yes.
I have to say, though, I have been listening in on some of the glory hunting that goes along here. You have quite the rack of medals to your name.
Yes, well, we've taken down a few. Me and Ellis work really well together when it comes to hunting on the field rather than in the sky. We tend to make that one a little more of a competition.
Yeah, of course. I mean, with the glory you get from a dragon kill, I mean, there's a lot... People do a lot for a claim like that. That's a serious piece of work. I'm very impressed.
I don't feel the glory in it. It is a necessary thing to do.
Extermination, you say?
I'm
Execution.
not sure it quite comes to that. There is a justice in what we do, and that is what I do it for.
Well, very noble. Maybe I'll join you on your next hunt.
Well, I'm sure Tiamund will have plenty of surprises, much like the
don't
one
even.
before the other day.
It's going to be bloody cold, is what it will be.
Yes, as you can already see, it's already getting colder. As we venture further north, you see that, like, as you woke up and you'd seen in the morning, there was a little bit of mist to your breath. Most of the entirety of the ship is like steel bolted framework with the occasional, like, you know, bed frame as far as comfortable objects. There isn't a lot of insulation in here, and as you've got further north, you have noticed a slight decrease in temperature, but nothing debilitating yet.
Can I check quick? Who was her main competitor?
Competitor?
Yeah,
It
in
was-
getting
Ellis.
dragon
Ellis.
kills.
It was Ellis.
It was Ellis.
In getting dragon kills, probably Ellis. Between the two of them, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have 6 apiece now. Ellis with
Wow.
a slightly different medal than she
Okay,
does.
okay.
You're not sure what category of dragon those come from. However, like as far as ancient to young,
Yeah.
But they've
been killing dragon babies and claiming medals.
Imagine, yeah.
Let's not go into that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I'll talk to her for a bit as we just sort of go along. Nothing specific, but more just discussing spear techniques from herself and from the assassin, and see if she saw any of that, and just like discussing the different ways in which a spear is useful in battle.
Yeah, she goes over the finer points of the flow and movement that she uses in her combat style, which you've noted, and seeing her in her training is a little, because of the use of a spear, is fairly similar to the way that he fought as well on the docks. Although she wasn't there, so doesn't have a lot of reference to compare to. It was only Ellis on the docks with you that day. Roll a persuasion check for me.
Good, Dustin.
That is what I do.
Pretty good at that.
I lift things and I get people to do things. That's 22.
22. In the conversation, she discusses a little bit of where her technique comes from. As far as combat styles, she trained in Wasira, which is the southern lands of the elves, towards the it's a nice temperate climate where people, majority of elves live or venture from. Just a little bit about where her style of fighting comes from.
Skill and stuff. Okay, cool. Happy clappy.
So wait, there's a library on ship.
Yes, you ventured there the other day to do your just studying, and while you're wandering around the airship, you know that this is it's a fairly rudimentary library. It's nothing in comparison to the grand library of the Golden Wings Academy.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's a fairly well stocked library space with a good selection of spaces to sit and read and learn about creatures and monsters and all of the sorts of things that might be useful to the order.
Whilst Guion and Torsten are fighting, and also whilst Torsten doing that, can I be at the library?
The library?
Nerd!
Library!
What a fucking nerd. Jesus. You leave a library. You leave an island that's practically all library. And you go somewhere else to see another library.
We just get back real quick. I just need to go back to the library. And I'm going to be trying to find a book that talks about what happens if you eat dragon. That is unfiltered, is raw. Okay. What would happen? What would the symptoms be? Side effects? Is there anything that shows it? That sort of thing.
Roll me a history check.
Oh.
See, if we were playing the Call of Cthulhu setting, there would be a library use roll that you could do for that.
But yeah. I rolled a 22.
But if you nat one on that library use roll, you do summon Cthulhu into your own brain.
Oh
yeah,
shit!
That is usually the problem.
That's pretty bad.
They have all sorts of the fast talking roll. I quite like that about the. So if you're caught out in a situation and you have really good fast talk, you can roll your fast talk rather than talking fast.
Fair enough.
You can just roll to get yourself out of a situation.
Nice.
That's 20. Hey, you're fixed.
What was your roll?
22.
22. Yeah, you do a little bit of studying backwards and forwards through the books. A lot of these are bestiaries as far as the main body of text in the space. You do see the orcish man behind a desk at the far side of the room, poring over a few books and muttering away to himself in the corner. You don't find anything that pertains to anything short of don't drink dragon's blood and eat dragon, it's bad for you. That's the it's the warning before everything else, but there isn't an everything else.
It's don't drink bleach, and there's not really a manual on what happens after.
Yeah, no one talks about what happens after you drink bleach, except for you call this guy and he you call a medical professional and they help you out. Yeah. for a lot of the cases in the books that you read with that education, that role, you get, don't do it. It's bad for you.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I'll spend a lot of time here, so. I will
Okay,
be
you can
chilling.
continue
is
to
there
be.
Else in the library? Is anyone else in the library?
Just the orc man at the moment. This early in the morning, not many people brushing up on their runes or their.
Does he have a
their
comically
arcane
large belly?
studies. He doesn't actually. It's
I'm
really
on the
odd.
lookout.
It's really odd for an orc, which you know to be relatively bulky. He's quite slim, almost a little like sickly looking, as far as orcish physiques go.
Can I
Very slender.
I'm going to say, I want to just be aware of if he is taking extra notice as to what book I'm reading and like what I'm looking up, and if he reacts to what I am actually looking up.
He seems very engrossed in what he's reading up on his desk. He doesn't seem to, in this similar way that Lady Goldenwing doesn't notice unless you shout in her space. If you don't say her name 3 times at the beginning of the sentence to get her attention, he's doing the same things. If you don't jingle your keys to break the ADHD, it's
Is
he's involved.
Can I see what he's reading?
As you get closer, it does break that stupor for him, and you see him push the book under the countertop. You know, classic librarians, the counters in a library. You can put the books on the top, but underneath there's desk space and computers. He has that sort of affair as far as a desk
With
goes.
computers.
Yes, he has an arcane calculator. It's like an abacus, but it does the slidey bit for you.
Yeah, no. I've got I'll play it off as this book was really fascinating. Is there any similar to this about similar subjects?
Yes, I think I can help you with that. He pushes the book a little that he was reading a little further under the counter. And turns to have a look around at some of the piles of books around him.
Not suspicious at all.
He grabs a couple of tomes, looking at alchemical practice. He looks at the tome you've handed over to him. Chemistry and Arcana. It's an interesting mix, and he hands you a couple of books. These are worth a good read, I'd say.
I'll keep reading. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And I will leave it at that. I'll just keep reading.
Nice.
Yeah.
I would like to, after breakfast, while these guys head off and do their things, seeing it's broad daylight, I'm imagining there's probably less likely of an attack. People are moving about the ship, it's more busy.
Yeah.
But I would like to go try and find Cerelia Dugar.
Yeah, Cerelia Deuce. D-U-S-E. Deuce.
Oh, not Deuce, not
Deuce.
Dugar.
Yeah,
Deuce.
sorry.
My bad.
Yeah.
Cerelia Deuce.
Yeah.
And when I find Cerelia Deuce...
Yeah, you make your way through the bowels of the airship, up to some of the higher quarters where people have their own office spaces and things like that. In amongst where the library is on the second floor, you find a chamber that is pretty cold, more cold than the rest of the space. You can see bits of ice and frost forming around the outside of the door as the air condenses on the outside of it from the coldness on the inside. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The temperature change. Just leave it at that. Temperature change.
It's got ice on it because it's cold.
Yeah. Brion will brace against the door, leave it a loud few knocks, and then try and open it. He needs a bit of force to break the ice.
Hear an enter, as the voice of the lizard folk rasps out towards you.
Good morning, Mr.
The door does crack a little bit as you come in. You see on the inside of the space there's a long workbench in the center of the room with the remains of the black dragon currently spread over it. It's already missing its wings, which are hung up against one side of the room. There are its jaws been removed. What's left of its teeth he's currently extracting with a big pair of like pliers. as he like rips out section by section. He is Groford.
No, my name is Mono. I mean, Guion.
Mono Guion, got it. How can I help you?
Monoguil.
All right.
That's quite funny. 'Cause it's got one eye.
Mr. Duga. Right. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. So,
It's Deuce.
it's just Guion. But it's
Guion.
cool.
Mm.
Yeah, Deuce.
Yeah.
So Deuces. Anyway. Yeah.
He like
I'm just wondering.
thunks his meat cleaver into a wooden block next to him. He's like, can I help you?
I was just wondering. Did you manage to anything to hand on those bone tools that may be coming along? I know you said that you've got a fine craft, and I respect the arts. So I understand that you will pick whatever is happening, if anything is happening. But I'm just here to say, drop an hand.
I prefer to work alone. Gives me time to get to know the monster as I really get into the art of it.
You know it's dead, right?
Yes.
Okay.
There's like the slight drip of viscera and blood in the room, but apart from that, it's cold. You see the ventilation system in here is like there's what looks like an arcane array in the center of the ceiling that seems to be producing this additional cold atmosphere that's piped in all directions around the outside edge of the room.
I'll just if you don't mind, I'll just go, I guess.
Yeah. No worries.
I'll be in the training hall if you need a hand, eh?
Yeah.
Have a nice time.
Arrows, right? That's what you use.
Will be cool. Will be very cool.
He turns, looks at the tooth in his hand. I'll see what I can do.
We also, if you happen to get time, we would really like some puppy armor for a dog.
Puppy armor.
Yeah.
If you want to send the dog by,
No,
I'll take some
I don't
measurements.
think that'll be necessary, actually.
You see, it's like his tongue like lolls out, and it like licks his eyeball to moisten it.
Average
like a
puppy
gecko.
size. Husky, you could say. Yeah, no, I don't think I'll be bringing him by.
Room
He's,
to grow,
pretty
then.
solid.
Yeah.
Plenty of room to grow, definitely. And on the size of larger, he's gonna be a big boy. He's gonna live a long and happy life.
I'm sure.
See you later. He's gonna go train.
What you think as a disconcerting grin because it's got way too many teeth in it, but thinking back, this is probably just how lizard folk smile to show reassurance.
Okay.
But yeah.
Green's gonna go loose some arrows in the gym.
Just to check, did you Ramos okay him?
Yeah.
Okay.
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 We have to cut that.
Yeah?
just
What, we can't show people who play League of
no,
Legends.
not at all. We'll lose viewership.
all.
I'll stop watching. We lost Lewis.
We did
I
lose
like
Lewis.
that guy.
We
Celia Deuce.
wait a sec. He's cool. He's creepy and cool. I like him.
Yeah, but Guion and his interaction is quality.
Yeah. Very good. I very much enjoy Guion. I think he's great because he's so like he doesn't take no shit.
He's very forthright, and I like that. Like,
Yeah. I just like how it's like, Mono Guion. It's like, because you're Mono Guion, so just misplace your name because fuck you.
Exactly.
Yes.
Very proud and stubborn.
Very good. Very good.
Cool. So how many days have we got left?
you probably have about 3 days worth of travel.
3 days.
If there isn't anything else you'd like to do, we can do day skips if you like.
I kind of want to do a crazy thing.
If he wants to do a crazy thing, he's going to do a crazy thing.
I'm gonna
Crazy.
I'm gonna go find Torsten.
Ooh.
So
That
it's
is crazy.
That is wild.
Who the fuck would do that?
Ew,
Oh.
gross.
You know the orc, right? Is he reading the same book?
Would you like to sneak a
Like,
peek?
whilst I'm reading of like 4 hours or something, do I see him change book? Do I see him?
He shuffles between a few books behind his desk.
Okay.
Like he's got a pile. Like some of the books that he picked out to give to you were from like a similar stack, but he seems to have a pile he's shuffling backwards and forwards and reading through.
I wanna get in there. I'm gonna go for Torsten.
Okay.
Torsten,
Yeah.
how goes things? Where are you, by the way?
I guess by this time, I'd either be at lunch or mid meditation, or going to meditation.
Ooh, can I just catch you for a moment, Torsten? Just
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
is that all right?
Yeah. Should we step over here?
So
Is everything okay? You haven't spotted another blood creature, have you?
no, not
Not the one.
Sure. But I was trying to read up on what happened if you drank blood, dragon's blood specifically, and no books here seem to, big red flags, meow, meow, don't do it, but no sort of like what sort of happens afterwards, and like a 10-step guide on how to, I don't know, stop it. But the librarian was one of the people on the list I was given yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And as for an orc, he seems very sort of sickly thin.
Well, as nerd, isn't that a nerd thing? Don't they spend all the time in libraries? And
Yes,
we had a lot of priests when I was in the castle. They were pretty thin and weedy, and they just talked about numbers and
all right.
And crop rotations and all of that rubbish.
In the Roman Empire.
Yes,
That's all the boys
that-
talk about.
yeah, they did.
The Roman Empire.
They honestly every 2 seconds they'd go back to the Roman Empire. I don't even know what a
If you're
Roman
not
Empire
thinking
is.
about the Roman
Really?
Empire.
One
Yeah.
may think that nerds are dwindly and weedy, but for all viewers, the
There's a lot
most
of
jacked
buff nerds.
people I've ever met are like the most
Yeah,
nerdy
fuck.
people in the world.
D&D knows a jack, is that what you're saying?
Literally.
As much as he is a nerd, and yeah, he's really weedy.
Mm.
Those things might go together, to be fair. I have seen a lot of weedy nerds.
I mean, I don't know. He's on the list. I was talking with Luna, and
Oh, yes. What did she say?
she doesn't seem dodgy.
Okay, I mean...
Like, I was thinking maybe that could have been trying to get an edge on the competition, but I didn't see any guile or any drive to, kill dragons at any cost. It was very much a dutiful thing. So I'm not going to cross her off the list, but I'm not going to put her on the top.
That sounds quite convincing, though. Good work. I think what I'd like to do is the librarian.
Yes.
He's reading a book or reading a few books, but in rotation,
Yeah.
and he seems very protective. So
Right.
I kind of want to get an eye into them.
Well, I'm
And
very
I-
sneaky.
Oh, I mean, I could be the distraction if you're sneaky.
That was a joke.
Oh,
I once fell over my own feet on a flat pavement.
oh, right.
What the fuck's a pavement?
And a cobblestone street voicing the
Well,
sky.
I mean, listen, that human, all beings are imperfect, all of them, and all make mistakes.
Do you not clank a lot? I clank.
I-
I'm covered in metal, but you're made of metal. Do you not clank?
I do clank every time I step. I don't really.
Hmm.
I also tick.
Perhaps we're not the. And Guion goes around in full plate, so
Yes, that's a good point.
I feel like we're really not the most stealthy people in the world.
If you ever develop a stutter, Crowfoot, it could be a nervous tick.
Should we end the session there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like about
That's
the
it,
end of the
right? That's it, we're done.
I think
Thanks
that
very
was it,
much
we
for listening
peaked.
to the moral of the story.
Yeah.
I think it's time to leave.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, maybe with a good enough distraction, one of us could steal. That's
Perhaps.
what I'm thinking.
Do you have? You were saying there was a way to hide yourself in plain sight. You were
Yes.
saying like
so
last night.
I was
What
talking
method
about-
is that?
It's the. Do you remember the thing I did with the harpies, where I climbed up?
Oh,
the
the rope. Yes. I
So
mean, I could perhaps cause a distraction and get them there.
Yeah, that would. I mean, that would be magnificent. Or even just like call him over to the corner of the library, and I can just go up into my hole and stay there above where he's reading and maybe catch a glimpse.
Yeah, no, I can probably. You know what? One I think I can do is make a loud noise, and
Oh, I
possibly
mean-
draw him away from a place. If I can bring him to a corner, you can jump into your little hole. If you can open your hole in the middle of the library, and get,
you get arrested for that kind of thing.
and then and about an hour later, I could.
Yeah,
That'd
that'd be good. I mean,
distraction.
I think I can do the hour later one myself, to be honest.
You can get out on your own.
I think I can get on my own, but I mean, hey, double distraction would be also helpful. So maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
Joe.
Okay.
My worry, guys, metagaming, but you know what? Fuck it, metagaming. If the ship is moving and you go into a stationary hole, what happens?
Magic is dependent on the perception of the caster.
That is
Okay, cool.
That is true. I'm gonna say it moves with the ship because I don't have
Okay.
to deal with the consequences of it.
Mhm.
Because I can easily imagine Groford getting crushed to death inside his own
In
rope
like a
trick.
bookcase or something.
And
Yeah.
as the ship moves through the solid barrier that he finds
Yeah.
himself in.
I
We're just
what
gonna
my
say it stays in relative motion with the rest of the ship, just like
That's
throwing a
cool.
ball.
Okay, yeah, cool. What my brain is thinking is that it, like the extra-dimensional space, sort of comes off the top of the rope. It feels so. If the rope is in momentum with the ship, it will stay in momentum.
Sure.
Yeah.
But maybe if the ship just suddenly went like a 90-degree turn.
Yeah, it might cause a problem if there's any turbulence. You might have an issue.
Yeah.
On that logic, can I move your possible hole like a balloon?
And this is why it just works and we don't question it. Because if you tried that, I will fuck you up.
Yep.
Okay. I'm
No,
down
you
to
cannot
try-
drag a Groford around like a balloon. Not a fucking
Well,
chance.
I think you'll find that's wrong.
Oh, goodness me.
Okay, I'm down to try this. You just go and call
Okay.
out to the corner, and I will. I'll go in first, and then I'll start reading in the opposite corner, and then you kind of get him away from his stand where he's gonna be reading
Alright.
from when you come
So
in.
you guys are making your way back to the library.
Yup, to the library.
Just see.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
No worries.
move into the library. That's right. Yeah.
Cool. You at the moments when we do this, when we have to transition from space to space without like actually moving on a map, my brain does like immediately goes to like a game of Cluedo in the same like ship. You know, the game Cluedo with everybody like moving diagonally
Oh,
across
right,
all
yeah,
of the
yeah,
spaces, like just one square at a time. You each just tick, 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 and now you're in the billiards room. Like, you know,
Yeah.
that's what happens in the transitions whenever I
Professor
And we're
Plum
gonna-
about it.
in the library
Yeah.
with
My
dragon
brain goes
blood
to the
ooze.
Marauder's map.
Yes.
Yeah, Marauder's map.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. That is...
Yeah, why the fuck did they say the billiards room when you're going in? There's a room in the library in the game Cluedo.
Literally.
the library.
You arrive in the library. You see that he is gathering his books up at the moment. You see as he stands up from behind his desk, the slender figure of the orcish man. He's got a couple of books on him, as well as that thick leather notebook that you saw him carrying the other night. As he steps up, just like, I was just about to close up for a moment. Is there anything I can help you with?
Oh, terribly sorry. When were you thinking to open back up?
Probably after dinner.
I'm afraid it can't wait. I need access to some medical journals.
Medical journals.
If you have anything on diseases of a more personal nature. There are some
like coughs?
some troubles that need to slightly more personal. I need to know whether it's worth just leaving it or divine intervention is required to save
Just
them.
for a second. So I said I was going to go forward in front of Thorsten to the library. Am I in the library right now, or am I?
You both sort of entered. You entered, and he gathered his books to turn around to see to see Torsten entering, to tell you both that the library was sort of closing. So you were a little divided. You were over to the left. Torsten's by the door. He's in his corner with his books in hand.
Well, do we have dinner first, and then we can talk about this, maybe?
I'd rather get it sorted soon so I can sit down and have dinner.
Sounds good.
If you wouldn't mind just taking me to the medical section you have,
Yes,
or something like that would be very helpful.
Over here we have a few.
I'll just take
first
the
aid
books alone
books.
for the time being.
Yeah, sure. He leads you over to a section.
Does he put his books down
from his desk? No, he's taking them with him
God damn it!
because he's me.
He's very stuck to his books, which makes me all
He
the
likes
more
his books.
suspicious.
Okay,
There is a few books still left on his desk of the pile he was shuffling through. If you'd like to have a look at those, but he seems to be carrying two big tomes and the leather book that he had.
I will have a quick skim read of those books if he's going around the corner and is out of sight and stuff.
Cool. Yeah, he makes his way through some of the aisles. Roll a history check for me, just to see if you can discern the purpose of each of these books at a quick.
That is a
Fast read.
quick skim.
Spot hidden.
History, that is a 18.
18. Okay. You see that these are about dragon physiology, as well as the purposes and magical usages of dragon's blood and dragon flesh. For the most part, it covers a lot of the same of the books that you read through there. Covers a lot of the same subject you were finding when you were doing your research, and people just say don't do it. No fun, bad results, death at best when you eat dragon flesh.
Interesting. That he left these ones but took those two.
Yes.
What if he's found the two that go? Can be good.
Am I able to catch a glimpse of any titles or spines of books that he's carrying as we go?
Roll yourself a perception check for me.
Perception?
Mhm.
It's not my strongest
Perception.
suit. No, 6.
6. No, nothing really stands out. They've got criminally bland covers. You know?
Oh, so it's just adult material.
Just could
Yeah.
be smart.
It's just smart.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. Confirmed very smart.
Yeah. Okay,
He's
no.
alone in the library. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With very damp sleeves as he hands you a few books on on self-care and healing and professional practice in the bedroom, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is that how you got here in the first place, Torsten? Very smart.
Yeah.
Very smart. Is that what you were actually looking for? Because that's a different section of the library.
I started my journey in the library. I was there for a reason.
He calls it meditation.
We all call it meditation if the duty demands it.
Oh, yeah.
dear.
Yes, apart from that, you can't
cool.
glean anything from the covers that he's carrying with that,
All right,
that
then.
perception check.
I'll consider that a win and borrow one of the books to take away.
Cool. It seems like a self-diagnosis, go see your cleric, if book. A to Z.
Call
of
111
you and me.
if.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
NCS, National Cleric Service.
As we're walking back, I'll say
Very good.
you haven't discovered anything on the on anything that happened last night, have you?
Just the dragon in question, the ooze-like substance that came from it. Seems to be some form of infection, as if
Infection?
it was ill.
Diseased.
Yeah, maybe.
Weird.
The curious thing, dragons are hardy creatures, and they don't tend to succumb to illness easily.
So, you think that this dragon flesh, this dragon blood creature was the result of this disease? Do you think the person who was consuming the dragon flesh may also succumb to a similar disease?
It's possible. I think
Oh dear.
someone who eats dragon blood and bone and viscera may have other concerns than
Well, yes, of course.
the effect of a parasite that could affect a dragon, but the bone mason confirmed that it had a rot deep in its body as well. Not sure how it may have procured that, but we do know that this dragon was coming from Tiamund to the coast rather than the other way around, so we presume potentially that it may have picked up that disease on the isle.
Perfect. Just where we're heading.
Yes, but a disease that can affect dragons may have many a usage.
That's true, I suppose. Yeah. Okay, I'm terribly sorry to have interrupted you. You were busy. Thank you for your time. And I will step out. Griffin, do you?
Yes, I'll come with. So let's go for some dinner.
Have a good evening.
Thank you, sir.
I don't want to jinx it. But Frigid World Round 2.
not a chance.
Oh, hell yeah!
You're saying vials of dragon poison.
I mean, that would be also
Big.
very lit. Imagine we freaking blackmail a dragon. For doing
Dragonades. No, I'm joking.
Dragonades. Fuck.
Brutal.
Drades.
Dreads. Yeah, episode title right there. Let that one sink in.
VR AIDS.
Oh my god! And then like what? Like the HIV's wormling IV or something.
God.
Okay.
Right,
Okay.
you make your way down for dinner.
Yeah.
Anything
I'll
else?
fill you in
Like achieved
on
in the
what
day?
I talked about, and I presume you tell me what he was looking at.
Yeah, I certainly do.
No worries.
But he seems to always keep hold of those 2 books.
I don't know. These brainiac types have their obsessions.
That is true, I guess.
I'm guessing you carry a notebook, Britford, like your time in
Yeah,
and studying
Yeah.
and whatnot.
yeah. I've got my staff. I've got some scrolls.
Mhm.
A little notebook.
Oh God, it's not a book. Ew.
Fucking gross.
Are you reading or something?
You know, when they invent the
it's-
printing press, we'll forget how to remember things.
I had people for reading.
I'll be honest. I do feel a bit dirty holding it.
Didn't you work in a library?
Yeah, I'm aware, but it still feels a bit like no, feels sinful for some reason. I definitely came
Well-
round to it, but
Yeah, understandable.
it's not part of my nature.
Yeah.
But yeah, nice excuse, by the way. It seems very real. Is there anything you want to talk about, or?
You ever had hemorrhoids?
I can't say I have actually.
he's a robot.
Yeah, I don't
Oh yeah, shit.
but, I would imagine they're quite painful.
I wouldn't know. This was just an excuse.
Vibe check.
Both check him.
Take the
Roll a
man.
deception check. Or persuasion, but you don't. We know, but you don't have to tell us which.
Roll 11 on my vibe check.
Was he deserved?
I rolled a 23.
You're not sure. It could be either way.
Well, buddy, I'm sure that the redness will go away and pain will lessen. And
How on earth would you know any of this?
It's not
Not
red, by
to
the
be
way,
rude.
Just to clarify.
Oh,
it's purple. But I don't know why I know. But there you go.
I read about it somewhere.
Right. Anyway, should we get some dinner?
Yes, sounds great.
Didn't you hear about it through ncs.co.uk?
I did, yes, ncs.co.uk actually.
Yeah, that's what I
That's where I was gonna want to put that.
What
in
does
the
the UK stand for in the .co.uk, Sam?
chat.
United Kingdom. United Kingdom. Idiot.
United Kingdom of Clerics.
UK's here, let's go.
It's not the same. That's probably
It's better.
yeah.
It actually has funding. Whoa!
Hey.
Yeah.
You make your way down for dinner. You meet up with Guion, unless you're out doing something particularly daring. You meet up together in the dining hall. There's a flurry of activity. A few people have their dinner time later. You see that there are a few milling around. Commander Vanderberg is at the head of the table as usual, eating his dinner. You also see Ellis Sharp in and among the crowd.
Is there a seat next to the captain or near him?
Yeah, there are, but they're very distinctly at the head of the table. If you want the social pressure
then that's all right.
of joining,
Yeah.
it's its own table, commander's table.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
Mhm.
And Ellis Sharp is also up there.
No, he's in with the rest of on the long lines of tables that
Rabble.
Okay.
give the rest of the room.
Does Guion see Torsten looking at that table?
I don't know. You may already be in the space. Where would you like to be, Gwen?
Go just be on a table.
Okay.
He doesn't
You do
really have a preference.
You do see them enter. You've already sat down with some food.
What do you notice? Torsten make a look
Role
over
play among yourselves. This is. I can't decide whether you think he sees it.
there? Torsten, would it be obvious that you make a glance towards the table? With
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. When you come to sit down, I saw you make a glance at the head tables there, Torsten. Fancy yourself a leader, eh?
I am literally a knight.
Yeah, I'm a soldier. And?
That's not the same thing.
Knights his armor, right? That's the-
Why is that not the same thing?
Have you ever tried to speak to a brick wall? It's very hard to get anything through.
No, that would be stupid.
Good point. You're right, it would be very stupid. I hadn't thought of it like that.
Are we playing Knights and Soldiers? Because that was my favourite game growing up.
Knights and soldiers, how do you play?
Half is Knights and half is
Someone
Soldiers, and then you
hides
fight.
a sword.
Oh.
See? But same playing field. Soldiers, knights, same thing.
Do
really.
the soldiers lose regularly? Because that's the basis we've been going on so far. Because we've been playing Knights and Soldiers in the gymnasium quite a lot, and and so far the difference is staggering. Or
Guion is
flooring,
going to
in fact.
return to eating his food. In shame.
Looking around,
I mean,
is anyone particularly ill that's eating?
No one looks particularly ill. Like everybody looks like in pretty strong. As far as the cohort of the order of the Fallen Wing, they're all very physically fit, very physically able people. With like a few exceptions of some slightly weaker looking cleric sort of builds people, as well as like
a wizard.
the people who don't go out in combat, like the librarian and maybe the chef. The
chef is very fat, right? Because
you
you
say
can't
a-
trust a skinny cook.
Would
That
you
is a
say
good point.
Would you say a belly full of dragon blood?
Oh, comically large stomach, in fact.
He is barrel shaped. This man.
Excellent.
You see
That's
every now and again he comes out with a new like dish for the table, like a stew or something like that, to go alongside the stuff that's already out and about. He's got a thick, like sort of broken, crooked nose. He's got like dirty white like cook's attire on. He's got a big round like belly to him. I
heard big round belly.
Big round belly.
He's barrel shaped.
It's a big round belly.
If he's barrel shaped,
that's
hover over him. Does it
Would
say
you describe
barrel
it as
dragon blood?
comical?
I actually wouldn't. I'd describe it as that's a rude way to describe someone with a big belly. Like, he's just.
I
likes-
think
he
if
likes
someone
food.
came up to me and said, "Hey, your belly is really big. It looks like you've been gorging yourself on the flesh of dead dragons," I wouldn't find that. I wouldn't find that offensive.
You're absolutely right, but you haven't said that to him. You just said he has a comically large belly. You see Ellis as you're looking around the general crowd. Ellis Sharp steps up from his table and makes his way over to you. He goes, "Gentlemen, how are you doing? Settling into the ship? I know it's been a while now. You've been aboard."
It's been a couple of days. Keeping ourselves busy.
Been lovely.
Yes.
You got yourself a new shield yet?
Yes. The bone mason is working on one for me. Should be good.
Good.
I'm feeling much better now, and he, just picked up my second wind. He stretches out,
About to make it
Ready
number
to-
7, are we?
ready to arrive at Tiamat,
Yeah. Well, maybe you can even out that score again. I noticed that Luna pipped you to the post this time.
Brings us back even. Nightmare.
Shocking.
I got ahead of
You've
her
been-
in the Wasira job, but she can't believe she got ahead of me for a stupid shoulder injury. Captain wouldn't let me go out.
Disgraceful. I mean, I feel somewhat responsible, to be completely honest.
Absolutely don't
If
even.
there's anything I
bother
can
yourself
do
with it.
to make it up to you, let me know. Maybe I'll hold one of the dragons down for you sometime.
Oh yes, I'd love to decapitate another.
Another?
Oh yes, you know that shield I had with the big blade edge. This one time, me and Luna were fighting this. What was it now? It was a green dragon with like awful poison breath, and we dove at it in the fight. We ambushed it in its cave, and we attacked from above. And I slammed my shield straight down into her neck, and it split open. And I claimed the defeat on that one.
Wow. Well, I mean,
It was
that's
quite an adventure.
That's pretty incredible.
Sounds impressive.
It sounds messy.
It was. Yes, I
imagine you end up covered in blood quite a lot.
blood, poison. Yeah, it was a rough cleanup.
And you have clerics, presumably, to help you clear your system of any of this poison.
Oh,
or...
absolutely, Captain. Some of the medical support is very helpful, as well as Captain Vandenberg for any lasting
Of course.
injuries. I hear you may have a few lasting injuries yourself, Torsten. Sorry, news travels fast on this ship.
That.
It's alright, we're good.
I'm not really sure what you're talking about there, Ellis. The fight didn't leave me scarred much.
It's never mind. I forget I mentioned anything. Anyway, just wanted to let you know that I'm feeling a lot better. And
That fucking librarian.
thank you for getting me out of that fight.
Hey, thank you for keeping us alive. I didn't think we would have lasted that long.
Probably not, especially this one. Won't see you. Queer.
Gwion is standing straight up. You what?
Rise
You
to
brought
the
it on me.
occasion so perfectly.
What's that meant to mean, Ellis? Eh? What's that meant to mean? He's already
I'm gonna
pissed
whistle.
because he lost so much to
I'm
Torsten. He's been sitting on a brimming pot for the last 20 minutes.
I'm going to whistle to the frog to try and get it to come over to me, to Evie.
Oh, Evie, yeah.
To try and get Evie to come to me.
Make
That's a
an
really
animal
good question because she's independent technically. Like...
Yeah. Make an animal handling.
Oh my
check.
god, she's actually independent.
Yeah. She obeys
Animal
my verbal
handling.
commands. But...
Okay. 2.
Yeah,
Oh.
Evie gives you like the classic long frog blink, like the double, like the long one side and then the other, but doesn't hop to the occasion.
So, what's that meant to mean?
Where's the track?
What's that meant to mean?
I'm just saying you
What's that meant to mean? I
you
could
don't
take
have
off one
much
ear. I could
as
take
far
off
as
one ear.
resilience.
No problem.
I've seen your battles with
Me and you,
Toasted.
9 a.m. tomorrow
I tip-
in the gym.
Ooh,
Me
well,
and you.
that
I
does
put my
sound
bowl.
like
9
I
a.m.
put my
in the
bowl
gym.
upside down over Evie.
the world goes black.
Oh, that's so mean.
Really, like the frantic hopping on the inside of it and croaking. Pointing to you where the bowl is.
One definitely thrashes around a bit until he removes the bulb.
I move it.
That feels ableist somehow.
It is 100%.
underhand.
That was a horrible thing to do.
That's so funny.
Guion is gonna give you the biggest death stare through his helmet. No, actually, you know what? He's gonna take his consciousness to Evie, and Evie is just gonna stare at you menacingly
harshest.
with the frog
Yeah.
eyes.
The
Yeah.
temptation to take like blindness and blind Evie is very strong.
Or just put like a little necklace around Evie, and then just put like darkness on it.
Yeah.
Spell darkness on it.
Perfect. In the
Phenomenal.
confusion, Ellis goes to finish his dinner. Yeah. You,
Guion, by the way, if you were
finish-
to fight Ellis tomorrow morning, my money will be on you.
Well, thank you, Groford. Torsten, me and you. I know you won, right? But let's just don't get too big for your boots. I could take all the time. I'm fed, remember? Now you may have been. I was fighting on an empty stomach. Okay, you may have won the majority this time, but I get.
You want to do
sick.
evening sparring then after dinner?
If you want to lose, if you want to lose,
You want to switch it around to that? Okay, cool. Yeah. Sure.
Let me just digest first, and then yeah, I'll. Yeah, totally. Do it.
You finish your evening meal. Do a couple of evening activities. Do you want to do one last sparring session?
Yeah.
The evening ends?
Guion is
absolutely.
fired up.
Okay, for it.
Best of
I'll
3 or
come-
best of 1?
I'll come and watch this one.
Okay.
It's up to you. I'll let you set the terms.
I feel like Guion would just do 1, to be honest.
Okay,
Okay.
Guion. Okay,
Mhm.
Torsten.
One and done.
Can I just whisper in Guion's ear as they're about to fight? Like as we walk over, I'll whisper, "Go for the anus." I hear that's gonna really hurt him.
I really want to win this.
Yeah. Griffith, you
I-
strike like the pinion on your shoulder, like the metal plate, and it rings like a starting bell, like the ding. Round
Guion's
one.
gonna run at you. He's gonna try and slip, and he's gonna try and
Slip bang.
no, he's gonna try and slip and just push your butt cheeks together to cause searing pain on the back of your ass. And he got a 21.
What's
I
yours?
got a 16.
Yeah.
It does smash your butt cheeks together, and I guess based on your
Torsten
reaction,
does not
we
have
can.
hemorrhoids.
It just smashes his butt cheeks
He
together.
was looking for an excuse, and yet he will forever be known on this ship as.
Hemorrhoid boy.
If Torsten had a problem like that, he can heal himself.
Oh yeah.
And then Guion's gonna stand up after you having no reaction and just turn to Griffin and be like,
Sorry.
"Come on."
I just saw you put your one hand up like sorry.
I think I'm just so surprised by your move that I just don't do anything.
I can imagine that
Torsten.
there's quite a spectacle in you guys sparring in your various sessions. It's attracted a little bit of attention from the crowd, and then you pull a move like it's like, oh, they're gonna do another sparring match this evening. That'd be quite fun to watch. You like a few people stop their workouts, and like every now and again after dinner, it's like they were watching, they were ready for a little like brief showdown, and then you just clap his cheeks. And the whole room goes very quiet as you just like hear the echo of you slapping his cheek.
Oh,
And then just,
settle down,
"My
settle
bad."
down. I don't mean it like this, okay? This is nothing more than don't read into it. Don't read into the situation.
Everybody goes
okay?
back to their business, like,
Oh,
quite sharply.
I would like to just bring your attention to this particular version of it, which I think is exactly what happened.
Goes on Discord on stage.
For listeners, anyone who's listening, this is a scene from Always Sunny in Philadelphia where Mac lifts Steve with just by the crotch.
Oh god.
It was meant to be a gif, but
Yeah, nice.
No, it was good.
That's good. That's very good.
well, listen. Let's call it the day. Let's call it a day. Let's go bed. That's enough.
You know what?
I'm done.
Good job, Grail.
Yeah. I don't want to be
always
congratulated on that. I'm just gonna move on.
I've always said you're a formidable opponent.
And on that sultry note of Lewis's character's butt cheek, I think we'll end today's session there.
Nice.
Thank you for listening to More Than a Story in all of its glory. We will see you in the next one. Follow us on all the social media things. Bye.
Bye. Episode title: Blood and Butt Crack. At the top it says rule of cool, and I'm cooler than you are, so like.
Yeah, true.
Just because
You
you're
are
cool
the
doesn't mean you
ultrasound
get to
guy.
rule.
Lewis is the ultrasound guy.
There you go.
Joe,
What are you gonna do?
if you suck a dick, do we level up?
That depends.
True.
Currency thing. An exchange
If you
of
just
favors.
took any random dick, no.
It has to be a specific one.
Whose
Yeah,
dick does
I'm not
whose
gonna
dick does
tell
it have to be? Yeah, whose?
Okay, guys.
I'll
we've
go
heard
to
it here
every,
This is
first.
going on
everyone,
YouTube.
every
It's
single
on the
person,
This is going
every
on
single
YouTube.
person.
D&D stories.
I'm going to 100% planet Earth.
My
We
DM
just have
forced
to.
me.
We just have to work it out.